We're actually going to have a change in the program. Sorry, Mr. Chapman. Our senior monitor, Jake Bailey's been able to come to prize giving. He can't stay for long, so I'm going to invite Jake to make his address now. If Jake can't get through it all, I'll take his speech off him and continue it on. So, do you want to come on, Jake?
I wrote a speech, and then a week before I was due to deliver that speech tonight, they said, "You've got cancer." They said, "If you don't get any treatment within the next 3 weeks, you're going to die." And then they told me that I wouldn't be here tonight to deliver that speech. But luckily, that speech isn't about what's to come. It's about what an amazing year it's been. And you didn't really expect me to write a whole other speech from my hospital bed, did you? So it started like this. If I've seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. Bernard of Chartres compared us to dwarves perched on the shoulders of giants. He pointed out that we see more and further than our predecessors, not because we have keener vision, nor greater height, but because we are lifted up and borne upon their gigantic stature and knowledge. Thank you, Christchurch Boys High School, for the height that you offer to us. Tēnā koutou katoa. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jake Bailey, and I'm Senior Monitor of 2015. To all the fine young men who have gone before me, and to all the fine young men who sit before me, thank you for supporting me this year as your Senior Monitor. At times, I've wondered whether I've deserved the job. At times, I've doubted I could get it done to the standard I thought it needed to be done to. But despite my fears, I have never stopped striving to be a leader who did not let you down, and consequently, I'm grateful for what you've given me in return. I want to share with you all some words which I hold particularly close to my heart, words which meant a lot more to me this year than they ever could before. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, because there is not effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deed, who knows the great enthusiasm, the great devotion, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who, at the best, knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly. So his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls that know neither victory nor defeat. This job would not have been possible alone, and consequently I must thank a massive team. Firstly, to my deputies, Sam and Jesse. You've been solid and inspirational, strong where I was weak, and an amazing source of support. I always felt you had my back, and that made every day so much better. To the monitors of 2015, I owe all of you so much. I treasure the connection I've had with each and every one of you. Thank you for accepting me into a brother. Thank you for accepting me into a group which I could have so easily not been accepted into, for giving me a chance, for the brotherhood that we have had. Maybe the best thing that this role has given me is a connection with all of you that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And it means more to me than you'll ever know. As I said on Monitors Camp, you're all exceptional people of outstanding calibre. Each and every one of you will go far. and I've learnt things from all of you. I must acknowledge the sturdy leadership and support I've received from Mr. Hill and the solid guidance received from Mr. Fraser, Mr. Williams, and Mr. Dunnett throughout the year. It has been at the core of how I've conducted myself, and at times I would have been very lost without you. You've all taught me very much, and I will carry it through life with me. Thank you for the opportunity you gave me. I hope I did you proud. I want to acknowledge the support that I've received and sincerely thank the old boys. In particular, Terry Donaldson and Jim Blair for being men of fine character who encouraged me to walk beside you, and I've been honoured to do so. The old boys have helped me to grasp what 130 years of history means in action, what it means to value tradition, to appreciate our rich history, and to comprehend the mark the old boys have made in the worlds of the military, arts, culture, commerce, law, community service, and sport. I've been privileged to be supported by these wise men who spoke softly of their accomplishments and gently of how much we have to learn and offer, and about the responsibility that comes with this privilege. And these are words that I wrote before they sat beside my hospital bed. Thank you. Sadly, it's been both a short and a long few years, but here we are, ready to move on, men. We've worked hard to get to this point, but we haven't done it by ourselves. As guys, we become the type of men we are, not overnight, but as a result of our decisions, the choices that we make, and those who surround and support us. And it is those people that we need to thank. To our teachers, thank you for sharing your talent and knowledge, and the occasional movie. What you did for us often went beyond the call of duty. You took time to explain assignments repeatedly when we weren't listening. You allowed us to come to you for extra help when you could have chosen not to. You put in the effort to make lessons more interesting so we wouldn't just tune out. You demanded excellence from us, whether or not we wanted to give it. And even to a bunch of teenage boys, it didn't go unnoticed. To our parents, thank you for supporting us in more ways than it's easy to reconcile. Not just this year past, but for the last 13 years of school and for our whole lives. Every day you dragged us out of bed, made sure we were fed and clothed for school, herded us out the door. You helped with our homework, paid our class fees, came to our various events and our sports matches, and worked with the school as required. You commiserated over our daily dramas, and you were there for us. But you also gave us the space to become the men that we are today. To the sports coaches who provide us with the strong guidance and counsel, thank you for making school about more than just classwork. Through our sports, we've learned how to power on through adversity and give it our best, win or lose. We've learned the importance of discipline and good sportsmanship and how to work closely with others to achieve a common goal. And we've had a lot of fun doing it. My middle name is Ross. I was given it not long before I was born because my great-uncle Ross, he drowned in Sri Lanka. Mr. Ross Bailey was a Christchurch-based kidney transplant surgeon working for the Asian Commission for the Global Advancement of Nephrology. He was known for making a serious difference to an extraordinary number of people's lives back when organ transplants were an amazing feat. And all humility aside, he was the best in the world at it. A true pioneer, the first person to perform a kidney transplant in New Zealand. He was also an old boy of Christchurch Boys High School. He came from a working class background, the only one of his siblings to go to university, and he went on to save numerous lives because he could, because he sought higher things. His funeral saw the cathedral in the square bursting at the seams with people that he'd helped. He'd done so much in his short years, giving life to the dying. He dared to make a difference. A graduate of Boys High from a working class background, putting Aotearoa Peto into action. Now, we can't all save lives by transplanting organs, but we can make a difference in our own way. Christchurch Boys High supports academic, cultural and sporting success, and as a school, we're exceptional in each and every one of these fields. But we can't all be the best scholar achieving straight excellences, or the best sportsman in the first 15, believe me. While we can't be the best at everything, or even times at anything, What we can choose to have is moral strength. Moral strength is another of Boys High values. I wrote about this before I knew I had cancer, and now I have a whole new spin on it. Moral strength is about making a conscious decision to be a person who doesn't give up when it would be easy to. To be lesser because the journey is less arduous. Jim Rohn said, "Let others live small lives, but not you. Let others argue over small things, but not you. Let others cry over small hurts, but not you. Let others leave their future in someone else's hands, but not you." Of course, doing this will mean at some point you'll have to face your fear of falling short, a fear of looking like a fool, a fear of not being enough. And being senior monitor meant facing these fears every day. But here's the thing. None of us get out of life alive. So be gallant, be great, be gracious, and be grateful for the opportunities that you have. The opportunity to learn from the men who have walked before you and those who walk beside you. Boys High, I've been absent for 3 weeks. Could you please stop sending my mother texts every morning asking if she knows where I am? That aside, I've missed you all dearly. For the past 5 years, I've been a proud student who attended Christchurch Boys High, and from today onwards, for the rest of my life, I will be a proud old boy, giving back to those before me as they've given to me. My challenge to each of you and to myself is to continue to grow and to develop for the better. The future is truly in our hands. Forget about long-term dreams. Let's be passionately dedicated to the pursuit of short-term goals. Micro-ambitious. Work with passion and pride on what is in front of us. We don't know where we might end up or when it might end up. Some of us will not cross paths again. Some of us will likely be seen on TV, others in print, some of us in prison. But I've thoroughly enjoyed growing up with each and every one of you. You know it's true. It's just... I've thoroughly enjoyed growing up with all of you, and it's been an honour and a delight to share these years of my life with you. I know that as I look at all of you, I'll measure my time here and the friendships I've had in these last years. Some were pretty casual, others were much closer, but I remember each one fondly, and I'm sure you will too. And when the many memories of our high school years begin to fade, that's ultimately how we may measure our time here. Not in the classes, or the lunch times, or the exam results, or the years, but in the friendships that we've made and the times we've shared together. And so here we stand. Our rule is over, and it is up to the next class to step into our shoes and take over. I hope that those of you who follow on will carry on a proud legacy. May the lads that follow benefit from the school's work to replicate the hall and the community spirit that undeniably comes from sitting together as one, strength and character of this mighty institution combined. I don't know where it goes from here for any of us. For me, for you. But I wish you the very best in your journey, and I thank you all for being part of mine. Wherever we go and whatever we do, may we always be friends when we meet again. Aotearoa Peto.
we are doing a few things out of order tonight, but just while Jake is here, I'll get the headmaster to present the prize for Senior Monitor. The Sorrell Prize for Senior Monitor acknowledges the leadership of the boy who was chosen last year or early this year to lead the monitors and lead the school. And I think you've seen an example of the wise choice that people make. All right, congratulations, Jake.